Hello, people. It's me again. Uh, if some of you or anybody's even watching out there, obviously somebody is. The Rainbow Crew, since they complained, and they were successful. They got my video removed. On this occasion, I put some tape here on my upside down bucket. It's thundering again. It tends to thunder when I talk about these subjects. Well, in any case, again, no hate towards the Rainbow Group. Like I said before, my sister's part of that. I don't hate her. I love her. But I love her as my sister. I don't love her as whatever she identifies as. I don't think you should love or hate anybody because of these things. I think you should love somebody because they have good qualities. They're a human being, etc. And if you dislike somebody, it's because of their behavior, not because of their group. It should always be because of their behavior. You know, you're not supposed to like bad behavior, for example. Just the same way that people at times get terminated because I guess the entity just doesn't like whether their attitude or their behavior, their comments, their point of view. In government, that should not matter because government should protect First Amendment right. But obviously, U.S. District Court of Puerto Rico, I guess employees lose their right when they become employees. I'm just guessing. Again, I'm not a constitutional lawyer or attorney, etc. But getting back to the Rainbow Group, again, like I mentioned before, they also need to better themselves because they also contribute to the toxicity of the workplace. In other words, once again, I know I focus more on women for the most part being toxic or contributing to a toxic work environment. And so the men, there's no doubt men also do, especially those that sleep around a lot. But almost nobody points the finger in the direction of the Rainbow Group or even women. I mean, now it's becoming more popular online, but for decades, men have been the villain, and that has to change. My goal is to create an equal playing field. In other words, equality, true equality, not the equality they teach at in most places, most workplaces. They teach equality, but they really mean for women and gays. If you're listening to music, that's the neighbor. They're listening to reggaeton. In any case, the video was removed. YouTube removed it under privacy guidelines. And look, I'm showing you that I'm not exaggerating or lying. YouTube legal support, content removed under YouTube privacy guidelines. Isn't that interesting? It's not under false accusations guidelines or potential what's that other word, slander guidelines. No, it's privacy. So obviously one of the three people I mentioned, which was Luis, Yelitza, and Aponte, one of the three was triggered. They want their privacy protected, which I understand. They don't want the truth to come out. They don't want people to realize that they too can be toxic, that they too can do bad things. Because, I've always, again, for decades, you never necessarily hear anything negative on the news or just in public when it comes, especially to the gay community. You never hear anything bad about them. A lot of bad things that women do that also tends to be swept under the rug. But when a man does something, especially if it's a white man, oh man, they get massacred. But I want to prove here one thing. I'm actually doing better than human resources. Because the fact that this person, again, the fact that this person wants to protect their privacy for what they say about religion criticizing God, criticizing the Bible, criticizing Catholics, because again, and again, nothing against you, Yelitsa, but I remember when you and Victor was there, when you criticized priests and you called them SOBs. I remember that clearly, because and it stuck to my mind for the simple reason that, like I mentioned before, it's amazing that you guys want to be respected, but you don't respect back, and that's a big, major problem for me, at least. It's the same thing with Luis. He's Luis in probation at Puerto Rico, federal level. He manages the support team. I remember him. Michael was there when he mentioned he criticizes the Bible. And Chula on one occasion even confirmed to me that he refers to God as the sky fairy, which is, again, it's a mockery of God. If you guys want to be respected, you guys also have to respect back. That's my definition of equality and of justice and proper behavior at the workplace during work hours in a federal building. So again, this time I'm not saying the last name, because I believe the privacy clause was you can't say a full name. Well, this time I'm just saying Luis and Yelitsa and Aponte, which is the other guy. In his case, I've never heard him speak ill, when it comes to Aponte, of religion, but he does have a very strong vulgar language, which again contributes to the toxic workplace. And again, I have nothing against you, Aponte, but let's be, and again, this is the reason why truth has no friends. Truth has no friends, because when you speak the truth, you have to get a lot of people in trouble, including people you actually like. And I've told my sister things, in a nicer way, but because we're different, but we also need to know our boundaries, especially in a federal building during work hours, and publicly. Because in my case, my comments were private. But I guess private comments are more dangerous than public comments criticizing God, religion, and Bible. And that's why U.S. Probation of Puerto Rico has failed. Because even though I mentioned this to Evelyn, I may not use the last name just in case, and I said things, something has to be done. In the trainings, these things need to be addressed. Now, the reason why I've done better than HR is because I'm pretty sure that whoever it is that reported this, where is it? My screen went blank. Whoever reported this, come on. I'm pretty sure that person right now at that federal building will no longer mock God publicly. I'm pretty sure that because of this video I created, I have convinced that person or these people to respect God, to respect Bible, to respect religion. They're not going to do it again. Believe me, they're not going to do it, at least publicly. They might do it among themselves, but publicly they won't do it again. And that is the goal. That is the goal actually human resources should have. That nobody makes these type of comments at the workplace. Even when they're personal opinion. Well, I had personal opinions. I was terminated for it. I was terminated for personal opinions, but protected groups, they can say whatever the heck they want because they're protected. So they can give their opinion with no consequences, with no accountability. And that's the point here. That's my goal of trying to fix the workplace. It should not be that toxic. It should be friendly for everybody. I know that sometimes women might feel uncomfortable with a comment a guy might make, but guys also feel uncomfortable when, for example, Veronica, I'm not going to say her last name just in case, the same thing, the privacy guideline, when she, again, opened up her tushy behind courtroom 2. That also makes men uncomfortable, like it did me. Or when Morgan touched me very inappropriately near Anna's station, near the mail room, or in the mail, near the mail area, because it's actually the mail area. But again, the point is that, the person removed it based on privacy. They want to protect their privacy. They don't want people to know that they hate Catholics, that they hate God, that they hate the Bible. You see, they too are bad, if you want to say that, you know. They too are toxic. They too have a harsh, drastic, discriminatory point of view, because that is discrimination against creationists or Christians or even Muslims or Jews too. You know, if it's a question of God. But again, they too have a harsh, very despicable point of view and belief system, you know, against those that believe in God. So, again, Luis and Yelitza and Aponte, hey, I have nothing against you guys wanting to have, you know, your form of sex. You know, personally, I don't. That's between you and God will eventually handle this. And I know that you guys are advancing towards the destruction of religion, and you will have some success, but God will have the ultimate say in this. Or how Lewis calls him, the sky fairy. You know, he's not so sky fairy. Through millennia, God has achieved to destroy. Of course, evil comes back, but the day will come very, very, very close. That day will come where the destruction will be final, and no more immorality will exist on the face of the earth, which includes heterosexual immorality and all other types of sexual misconduct. So, whatever of my, of course, dark humor, because I know I have dark humor, that you guys misinterpreted about me and Chula, it was just humor. It was just a joke. It was just a joke. I truly respect her, and if you guys even, you know, have even had the chance to interview her, I always treated her with the utmost respect, and I always told her, if I ever make you feel uncomfortable, let me know. I never hugged her, I never touched her, anything like that. On the contrary, she was the one that I was like, but you know, but hey, you know, say hi, give me a kiss, give me a hug. Because again, I never wanted to make her feel uncomfortable. Because I know women are very sensitive nowadays, especially with the Me Too extremism, making them hypersensitive. But the point, once again, is they removed the video. Hey, I wasn't gonna remove it. I'll let them remove it. But I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna continue to create conscience and awareness of how even the rainbow community, they also do bad things. It's not just heterosexuals, and it's not just heterosexual men. The LGBTQ community also do bad things. I'm still disgusted at that video I saw on YouTube during the gay parade, when a group of them are yelling out, "We're coming for your children. We're coming for your children." That's disgusting. That's almost saying we are on our way to legalizing or normalizing pedophilia. And that's the problem when you open up the door for one group, then every other group wants to go through that door. And that is a huge problem. A huge problem. In any case, those that are defending you, if there's anybody else listening from Human Resources, if you're Catholic or Protestant or Jewish or Muslim or whatever judge is listening with these same religions, be aware that you're defending people, you're defending Lewis and Yelitza that have directly, because I've heard them with my own ears, criticize you or your religion or your belief system. So you're defending someone that pretty much does not like you, or maybe even hates you, and are determined to bring down your belief system, which they've been successful. Because I remember in Florida, Barbara DeWicki, she was the court administrator, or I think she still is the court administrator at the 1st Judicial Circuit of Florida, and I remember she removed an angel that a co-worker of mine had. Her name was Mary. And because it could offend somebody. I mentioned this before in another video, but I put videos and I take them down sometimes just because I might want to remake them in the future. But again, Barbara DeWicki, she's a member of the LGBTQ community as well. She was put there I guess under the DEI program. She really sucks at her job. Believe me, she sucks. And the thing is, she took down a little angel figurine Mary had on her bulletin board because it might offend somebody. Really? No, that's the removal of religion, the gradual, removal of religion because it might offend somebody. But when these same people criticize God and the Bible and religion and Catholics publicly, that apparently does not offend anybody. Please, whoever's listening, does that make any sense at all? It doesn't make sense at all. So again, those that are defending the gay community, and again, I don't mean to say they don't deserve to be protected or defended, but they also need to be put in check. That's my bigger point. Don't defend somebody that despises you or spits at you while you defend them. No. Also, in human resources trainings, point at women and point at the rainbow community just like you point at men. That's true equality. I've mentioned this before. So again, the video was removed due to privacy. Not because I'm lying, because I think they could have, opened the case of slander or I'm lying, but they did not do that. Why? Because they know I'm not lying. Because they know I told the truth. They know they speak that way. Oh, but they could be supervisors at U.S. District Court of Puerto Rico. They could be supervisors and speak that way about Catholics and speak that way about the Bible. They could have a good position, a sworn position, a position where they were sworn in as a probation officer, for example. And they can have that position despising religion publicly, despising Catholics, etc. So once again, my comments, which were private, which nobody found out, you're finding out now because I'm putting it on YouTube, because I'm not scared. See, I don't care for the privacy thing. I will tell the truth, even if it makes me look bad. But I believe more in the truth than in the lie. And again, the rainbow community does not like to be pointed the finger at. That's why you barely ever hear anything negative, even on the news, rarely. There was one guy that came out on the news, I think over a year ago. He shot up a church. This was in the United States. I can't remember which state. This person went into a church and killed multiple Christians in their church. The media, for a while, hid the fact that this was a transgender person. It gradually started to come out, primarily due to independent reporting. So you see how when these people, LGBTQ people, do bad things, they try to hide their identity, that they belong to that group? And who knows how many other crimes have been hid from us. Identifying them as that. But if a Christian shows any form of hatred towards the LGBTQ community, oh my God. Yeah, that's all over the press. It's all over the news. Look at the last 20, 30 years. What has been the deal with Muslims? Terrorists. They're always pointed as terrorists. No, you can't do that. You can't generalize. Yet our media plays with that, and they still do it to this day. They don't do that with Jews, because you get canceled immediately if you do that. With Christians, sometimes. But once again, my bigger point here is this person, whoever it may be, is concerned on their privacy. They're concerned that their private comments are coming out into the light and making them look bad. Making them, showing their true colors. Showing their true colors. Oh, but you guys like to investigate others. You guys like to investigate the colors of others, but you don't like your colors to be investigated. No pun intended with the colors thing, in the rainbow thing. But that's the reality. Again, I'm not going to give up on this subject. I might get bored of it and then let it go. But this is the big reality of the workplace today, of many workplaces today. And it's disgusting that U.S. District Court and Probation of Puerto Rico, even though I've mentioned this to Evelyn in the past, when it comes to their behavior, nothing gets done. I remember Yvonne, like I mentioned before, she did not like Yelitz's filthy language. I told her to go to HR. She's like, no, because then I'll be labeled this, phobic. And Evelyn confirmed it. HR confirmed it. Yeah, she's right. They might accuse us of that. When you work in fear, that's not, in my opinion, that's not so democratic. That's not a free country when you live in fear, when you work in fear. That's not a real free country. And then obviously when you have at the entrance of that federal building the Constitution and the amendment rights on the wall, but that's really toilet paper, because they protect some groups from their comments, but they don't protect other groups, like in my case, from my comments and my points of view and my personal belief system. That's Puerto Rico for you, or America for you, because we are, after all, territory or property of the United States. More freedom. We're a colony, but once again, whoever removed it, again, I don't hate your community, I don't care. What you stick up your anus, that's your thingy. But watch your filthy mouth when it comes to criticizing God, because unfortunately, you're protected, but I'm not. If I say anything, even little, like criticizing somebody's nails, a gay person's nails, all hell breaks loose. But you guys can directly, publicly attack God. Lewis up in Probation, and Yelitza, which again, I have nothing personal against you guys. Just like anybody else here. If I see you on the street, you might not want to come up to me, because I will reconfirm that truth. I'm not gonna step back on it. I'm not. Truth is truth. Truth is truth. Facts are facts. And it's not my truth versus your truth. No. That's how you guys have expressed yourselves. And it's disgusting, because again, you want to be respected, but you don't respect in return. And hey, like I said before, Lewis could be a manager while he disrespects others. Religion, belief system, the Bible, God, calling him the Sky Fairy. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I can't be a simple IT guy with my opinions, but you could be a protected group member and talk bad about religion publicly, and that's okay, because there's a clause of protection. I don't believe in that. I don't. Not one bit. This is no longer America. This is not the America the Founding Fathers created, and it's going downhill dramatically from here. So again, I've done a better job than HR, because I'm pretty sure these individuals are no longer going to openly and publicly express themselves at work, because they know somebody else might expose them again. And people, don't be scared. Don't be scared. If you hear them again express themselves that way, expose it again. Go to HR, even if they don't do anything, create a YouTube video. Or go to Rumble. Hey, Rumble knocked that video out, but YouTube knocked that video out, but I'm pretty sure if I upload it to Rumble, they will most probably keep it. So, but hey, my investigation has continued, and it will continue. At least I know they are scared. They're scared that their truth is coming out, that their bigotry towards Christians is coming out. And I'm glad that's their reaction. Well, the neighbors are getting louder, sir. Let me let you guys go.